June 11, 1962. The night that would change history. Three men, Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Carnes, hatched a plan to escape from the infamous maximum security prison on Alcatraz Island. But as the sun set over San Francisco Bay, the question echoed through the shadows: would they succeed, or succumb to the unforgiving waters? Years later, in 2013, a curious park ranger stumbled upon these small, intricately carved rocks. They bore an eerie resemblance to a message from the Anglin brothers' lawyer, claiming they were still alive after their daring escape. But was it just a clever ruse, or a genuine cry for help? Frank Morris, the mastermind behind the escape, had been planning this moment for months. He had fashioned intricate papier-mâché heads to deceive the guards into thinking they were still sleeping in their cells. But as we'll explore, there was more to Morris's plan than meets the eye. At 9:58 p.m., the three men slipped silently off the roof, disappearing into the darkness. They navigated treacherous terrain, avoiding guards and rangers as they made their way to a nearby boat waiting for them in the bay. But what happened next would shroud them in mystery forever. The investigation into the Alcatraz escape was launched on June 12, 1962, just hours after the men were reported missing. But the FBI had a problem: no bodies, no signs of struggle, and no clear evidence of how they escaped. The FBI's initial theory was that the men had drowned in the San Francisco Bay or been swept out to sea. But as investigators searched the island and surrounding waters, they found no signs of foul play or any indication that the escapees were still on the loose. Frank Morris was a seasoned escape artist with a proven track record of evading capture. His plan for Alcatraz was meticulous, involving homemade tools and clever use of ventilation shafts. But did he have an accomplice, or a plan B? As the investigation dragged on, public interest began to wane. The FBI officially closed the case in 1979, concluding that the men had likely drowned or been swept out to sea. But many questions remain, and some believe that the truth about what happened on Alcatraz is still waiting to be uncovered. On June 11, 1962, FBI agents Tom Thomas and Bill Raffetto interrogated John O'Keefe, lawyer for Frank Morris, one of the escaped prisoners. They revealed a chilling detail: the inmates had created fake heads using soap and paper to fool the guards during head counts. The prisoners' clever deception used these fake heads to avoid detection. But where did they go after escaping? One theory suggests they might have made it to the mainland, using a hidden cove on the north side of the island. FBI investigators later interviewed a group of local fishermen who reported seeing two men in a small boat, matching the description of Morris and Anglin, on the morning of June 13. Was this the first sighting of the escaped prisoners? Theories abound about the escapees' fate, but one thing is certain: no bodies were ever found. Some speculate they might have been picked up by a passing ship or made it to freedom on their own. Others believe they succumbed to hypothermia or exhaustion in the treacherous waters surrounding Alcatraz. The night of June 11, 1962, three inmates attempted to escape from their cells in Block B. Frank Morris and Clarence Anglin were imprisoned for murder, while John Anglin was serving time for bank robbery. According to official reports, they used homemade keys and duplicate laryngoscopes to evade detection. Investigations revealed that Morris and Anglin spent months crafting intricate tools from everyday objects. They fashioned wooden spoons into crude keys, which were then used to unlock their cells. But did they have an accomplice within the prison walls? A long-forgotten interview with a former corrections officer hints at possible collusion between the escapees and a prison employee. But is this just speculation, or did someone genuinely aid in their escape? The FBI's extensive search and investigation turned up no signs of Morris, Anglin, or their escape raft. Some believe they drowned in the turbulent waters or were swept away by strong currents. But others claim that on the night of June 11, something extraordinary occurred, and these three men vanished into thin air. For decades, the FBI maintained that all six men involved in the Great Escape were either captured or drowned trying to swim to freedom. However, new evidence has come to light suggesting that it's possible some may have survived. But as we delve deeper into this mystery, one thing becomes clear: the true story of Alcatraz will never be fully known. In conclusion, the Great Alcatraz escape remains one of the most intriguing unsolved crimes in American history. Despite countless investigations and theories, the fate of Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers remains a mystery. As we reflect on this case, it serves as a poignant reminder that the truth can be both elusive and fleeting. In the words of Frank Morris himself, "You will never catch me."